Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Before you do anything else, before you decide this is just another reminder, pause with me for a moment, because what you are about to hear is not meant for everyone, and that alone should make you pay attention. Let me begin with a question that may sound simple but is not. Why now? Why did this message reach you at this exact moment in your life? Not earlier, not later. Most people rush past moments like this. They treat them as background noise, but the truth is, Allah does not interrupt a heart unless something important is approaching. And no, I am not talking about coincidence. I am talking about a sign that often appears quietly, a sign most people misread, a sign that comes before something big, not after it. If you are expecting instant motivation or surface-level comfort, this is not that. This is a wake-up call, delivered calmly, but seriously. Let me say this with authority and care. If Allah wanted to ignore you, He would leave you comfortable. The fact that something feels unsettled inside you is not random. It is intentional. Stay with me, because by the end of this, you will understand why this feeling exists, what it means, and what happens next, depending on how you respond. And yes, there is urgency here, but not the loud kind, the dangerous, quiet kind. Most people think signs from Allah arrive as relief, ease, clarity, certainty, but that assumption is exactly why many miss the real sign. One of the strongest indications that something big is coming from Allah is not peace. It is restlessness with purpose. Let me explain carefully. You are not falling apart. Your life is not collapsing. Yet something feels off. Things that once satisfied you feel empty. Conversations feel shallow. Distractions feel forced. Even achievements don't hit the same anymore. And you ask yourself, why am I feeling like this when nothing is technically wrong? That question itself is the sign. Because when Allah is about to move you forward, He first removes comfort from what no longer serves your akira. This is where fear quietly enters. Not panic, not terror, but a subtle awareness that you can't stay where you are. And here is the part most people don't want to hear. That discomfort is mercy. Allah is detaching your heart before He changes your direction. Think about it honestly. If Allah gave you everything you wanted right now, would it bring you closer to Him or further away? Exactly. So He pauses the sweetness. He introduces unease, not to punish you, but to prepare you. If your phone suddenly stopped distracting you the way it used to, would you call it broken, or would you realize something deeper is happening? Be honest. That loss of comfort is not accidental. It is surgical. And if you ignore it, the next signal will not be this gentle. Now listen closely, because this is where understanding turns into responsibility. Allah never changes a person's situation before changing their internal state. Never. Before elevation comes awareness. Before expansion comes pressure. Before doors open, attachments are tested. This sign you are experiencing, this inner alertness, is Allah recalibrating your heart. You begin noticing your own contradictions. You start questioning your intentions. You feel tension between who you are and who you know you should be. That tension is not confusion. It is alignment trying to happen. And here is where urgency enters the picture. This phase does not last forever. Allah gives you a window, a moment where guidance whispers instead of shouts. During this time, you are expected to slow down, reflect, return sincerely. Correct what you already know is wrong, but most people do the opposite. They speed up. They drown the signal with noise. They delay obedience. They say, later, when things settle. Let me be direct. Things are unsettled because Allah is about to move you. And if you refuse to move willingly, Allah still moves His decree, just not gently. Ask yourself something deeply uncomfortable. If Allah removed this feeling tomorrow, would you feel relieved? Or would you feel lost? That answer tells you everything. Because when Allah places urgency in the heart, it is not to scare you. It is to save you from missing timing. And timing, once missed, is rarely returned in the same form. In the next part, we will talk about the most dangerous mistake people make at this stage, the one that turns preparation into regret. And this is where many sincere people fall, quietly. Stay with me. Now we arrive at the most dangerous part of the journey, not because Allah becomes harsh here, but because people stop being honest with themselves. This is the stage where many believers unintentionally sabotage what Allah is preparing for them. How? They recognize the sign, but they refuse to respond to it. They feel the restlessness. They sense the shift. They know something needs to change. Yet they delay. They say things like, "Let me just get through this phase. I'll fix it when life slows down. I know what I should do, but not yet." Let me say this clearly, without softening it. Delayed obedience is a silent form of resistance, not rebellion, not disbelief, but hesitation dressed as patience. And Allah sees the difference. Here is where fear becomes real, because this sign you are experiencing is not an invitation that stays open forever. It is a window, a narrow one. When Allah sends inner discomfort without destruction, He is giving you the chance to move willingly. But if you ignore that chance, Allah still moves you. Only this time, without consultation. Have you ever noticed how Allah sometimes removes something from your life right after you asked for guidance? And you thought, that wasn't what I meant. Exactly. Because you asked for direction, but resisted the cost. This is where people misunderstand Allah's mercy. They expect reassurance. Allah offers realignment, and realignment is uncomfortable. This is also the phase where people misread silence. They say, "I'm making dua, but nothing is happening." No, something is happening. You are being watched to see whether you will act on what you already know, without needing a dramatic sign, because if Allah had to shout, it would mean you ignored the whisper. And whispers are mercy. What comes next in your life depends less on what Allah gives, and more on what you let go of, and most people let go too late. Now we come to the conclusion, and this is where clarity replaces confusion. This sign from Allah is not asking you to predict the future, it is asking you to prepare for it, not by gathering information, not by waiting for certainty, but by correcting your alignment, now. The correct response is not fear, it is humility. It is returning to Allah without conditions, it is obeying without demanding explanations. It is removing what Allah has already made heavy on your heart. Because here is the truth most people only realize in hindsight. When Allah is about to bring something significant into your life, He first ensures your heart can carry it. Some blessings destroy people who are not ready. Some opportunities become trials when met with the wrong intention. Some answers to dua arrive disguised as loss, and Allah, in His mercy, prepares before He delivers. If you respond to this sign, not perfectly but sincerely, what comes next will not confuse you. It will fit, you will recognize it, you will be ready for it, and you will not lose yourself when it arrives. So pause here. Do not rush to the next distraction. Do not silence this awareness. Do not delay what you already know, because signs pass, moments close, and timing matters more than people admit. May Allah grant you wisdom before urgency, obedience before insistence, and readiness before arrival. Wa akhiru da'wana, alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen.